Hi guys, it's Ray. We are starting another new tumbler today. We are going to do like the envelope style on this one. This one says, "A mother's love knows no bounds, it's endless." And we're going to use both of these vinyls. This one is a clear, this one is opaque. So I have a 30-ounce skinny straight, and the first thing I'm going to do is put a thin coat of epoxy on it with a little bit of the touch of neon diamond dust. It's just going to put a little bit of sparkle onto the cup. So we're going to go over and do that first. Okay, so my plan for this one is this is going to be the top. I'm going to fully wrap the tumbler in this first. So I'm going to need it about 10 inches around and 9.2 inches high. I'm thinking about cutting a 2-inch circle out of this for the bottom, but we'll see. We'll see. So, the other piece of this is going to be, I'm going to do like the envelope where it's like starts as a diamond and wraps all the way around it. I'm going to start with this hole. So I'm going to start by trimming down all my edges. And in my cutting video, we didn't do this. But what I'm going to do is line it up inside a 12 by 12 box on my cutting mat. I'll have 12 inches all the way around. I am going to tape it down a little bit. Like here I have 6 and 18, so 12 is going to be my center for my top and my bottom. So I'm just going to mark the back side in pencil. And then I have 3, and I can't read my mark on that side, 3 and 15, so 9 would be center on these sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are going to be my triangles I cut. So fresh blade, straight edge, doesn't matter what you use because you're not measuring anything. Cut line to cut line. Those little marks we made, that's where we're going. See? And I'm going to spin my whole mat just to make my life easier, so I'm going to go to this one next. And sometimes it's easier to see if you peel these off. And yes, I did just rip the backing paper a little bit. Line it up to your points. And hopefully this is going to be big enough to do what we want. It should be fine. It's not going all the way through the backing paper, so these points are still usable. Don't worry. Come back around. All right. So that is going to be my top piece of vinyl. Okay, we have our base coat of glitter on here. I'm going to get the vinyl on. First thing I'm going to do is cut an anchor. And hope this goes relatively smooth. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what's front, what's back on this right now for this piece. It just matters that it's fairly straight. To pull that all back up, but I do want to get to that bubble. Well, luckily with it being clear, I can see where I started. Okay. So I'm just going to let the backer work itself off. So step one. And I did cut my little circle for the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and get that on now too. I tried to line it up so I would get like a full full flower and then some outer bits of flower. So there's that. Now that's pretty good. This is gonna go on this way. So, how are we gonna do that? Normally, I would make a big anchor, but I think I'm just gonna do a corner anchor this time. So, I'm kind of that's pretty good. And then I'm going to use my big squeegee and go. I feel like I'm shifted down a little bit, but it really doesn't matter. As long as my points are kind of even. It doesn't matter if I trim more off the top or the bottom. That's what I'm saying. This is what matters, that this overlap was in the right place. And because this is a fairly large decal going at the top, I'd rather have more of the white at the top than the bottom. So I don't want to mess this up. But I do need to trim this down. And I'm actually going to have to go get my edge trimmer to do this super clean. Well, actually, it's such a small amount that I can probably just eyeball it. So, next is going to be pinstriping, which is going to be a lot. Although I don't think I'm going to pinstripe all the way around the top. I think I'm just going to do on the blue. And I think I want to do like a hot pink. Okay, so I just grabbed a sheet of hot pink vinyl. This is Oracal 651. And cut it down on my paper trimmer to 1/8 inch strips, roughly. And we're gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna do this side first. If you have a hard time getting vinyl started, I highly recommend just a little piece of painter's tape. That's what works best for me. This looks so cute already. So I'm going to come up to the point on this. That'll give it that envelope look, which is the whole point to doing this. That is that under, there might be an air bubble in there too, but that's not quite smooth right there. And then the last piece. Okay, so I'm going to check my vinyl for air bubbles. If I find any, I'm going to go ahead and pop them now. And then we're going to get this over and get another coat of epoxy on it because... Okay, so I am ready for epoxy. Decided I'm going to go with a touch of rose because it'll pull more of the pink. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. Okay, this one is ready for its decal. This one says, "A mother's love knows no bounds. It's endless." And figure out my placement. I do want it pretty far up. I'm actually going to trim some more of this top off, in fact, because I don't really want too much of my... It'd show up, but I don't want a lot of it over the bottom. So just the outer letter on either side is going to be over the top here, hopefully. Okay, I have my epoxy mixed up for this. It is very bubbly because it is cold. But it is the hog speed, and that does seem to release bubbles pretty well. So, I'm not overly concerned. This is just getting a plain old clear coat. Doesn't need anything else. Because all we're doing on this step is sealing in that final decal. So there's our cute "A Mother's Love Knows No Bounds. It's Endless." And our little overlap in the front, the clear vinyl layered with the patterned vinyl, which, like I said, I really hope the color conveys properly, but it probably doesn't. And there's just that circle on the bottom. So, well, that is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. I absolutely love it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.